It's been more than 16 years since the controversy began in Port Dalhousie over a development proposed for the Lock Street area. Joining us now, we have Tom Rankin, who took over the ownership of the old Union waterfront property. We'll talk a little bit about that. First off, you took over the ownership, I believe it was last February 2019, of that Union waterfront property. That's a big undertaking, so much controversy over the years. What allows you to feel that you might be able to be the one to push this through?
Well, I think with our track record, getting things done, and the Port Dalhousie is, dear to my heart. It's only, 6 or 7 kilometers away from our office, and I know it's been a blight for so many years, and it'd be nice to get something done. So, that's just our reputation. When there's a problem, we don't shy away. We like to tackle it. So, rightfully or wrongfully, that's what we did.
When we look at going forward with it, how can you avoid the mistakes and the pitfalls that the previous owners did?
Well, we're going to try to. One thing we're not, although it's approved to go 17 stories, and some people have recommended we should simply build that. I don't want to antagonize everybody because it is approved to go 17. So we're hoping to get a compromise. We're not going to go nearly that high. We have an excellent architect from Toronto, Peter Clues, and he's come up with, and it's really confidential at this point in time, but I think he's come up with an amazing design. I'm so pleased with the design. It's, this gentleman thinks outside the box, and it's just an amazing design.
When will the public be able to see that design and find out a little bit more about the timeline?
Well, we've had 3 meetings with the city and the Conservancy, who have been opposed to the previous projects. And we had 3 meetings, and then we got kind of shut down because of COVID. So the last 6 months, we were slated to have another meeting. So it's kind of been in limbo. And so I think that Tammy, the new director of planning, is planning on us proceeding now. We're going to, whether it's by Zoom calls or whatever, we have a very large room in one of our buildings here, so it accommodates 60 people, but you wouldn't want to put more than 15 in it. So there is a possibility, or perhaps there's some Zoom calls, but it's just been dormant for the last 6 months. And we've had, as I said, 3 meetings, and there's a point in time where, we can't resolve our issues that the city would bring mediation in.
With the Port Royal development, is that all sold out now?
Of the 51 units, there's 7 not sold out. So of the 51, there's 44 that are sold out. But some people like to see the actual thing in place, and then they come in before they make their mind. So you always get, so we're not, you only need much to get financing on something like that. You don't need, you know what I mean? So we've done very well as far as sales are concerned.
And what kind of people are buying those? Are they local people from Toronto?
I think for the most part, they're local. There's a lot of local people that bought there, and I think there are a few people from Toronto. I think there was 2 brothers, but I don't want to put a percentage, but I think probably over 90% are sold to local people.
Tom, going back to the original development, now known as the Locks, when will you begin selling those units?
You can't sell units until at least you have the plan pretty well approved, because people want to know what they're getting into. So, hopefully, if it wasn't for COVID, you know what I mean, we weren't going to put a shovel in the ground this year, but it'd be nice if we could put a shovel in the ground next year.
Tom, the biggest, I think, discussion against all of this development is congestion and traffic. How will you alleviate those problems with all of these new residents in that area?
Well, we've had traffic studies, and we're assured we're not going to be, we're not going to be greatly increasing the traffic. So we have insurance from our traffic engineers. I think the city and the region have both approved the report. So the region was talking about making some improvements to Lakeport Road, but I think they're going to probably be of a minor nature. And you know what I mean? They were talking about realigning the roads and stuff like that. So that's a regional type project, with the consent of the city, presumably. But, I haven't seen any finalized plans at this stage, and, as to if they're going to make any changes.